Welcome to TableTalk Friday, a D&D podcast. My name is Matthew Seth Reed, and today it is just me. Guys, right up front, I just want to apologize that we've had, I think, 3 or 4 episodes that are just me. Drew was super excited to join in on the next episode, and then I told him that his mic wasn't working well in the last one, and he couldn't handle it. He went and cried in the corner for many hours, and then said that he was going to order a new one, and then he ordered the new one, and the new one got shipped and got delivered to his parents' house, not his, which his parents' house is hours away from his. So he's going to get it this week, so that way him and I can record, because we've been on a D&D streak and we've got some stories to tell, like for our actual games. But yes, sadly, we were unable to get him into the session this week, so it is going to just be me again. But I wanted to go ahead and highlight what we have coming up, so that way you guys can know what to look forward to. Gabby, my wife, she is going to be joining in. We just finished a 95-hour playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3 together. She has also been in multiple D&D sessions, and I thought that her perspective on Dungeons & Dragons and my life around it could be some pretty solid content. Hopefully Drew can join in on that too, but if not, it'll just be her and I. And then Drew and I are going to go over D&D finance together. We're going to go through some different tabletop games and talk about how they run finances, and then kind of theorize really where that money goes, where it comes from, and how it works in their world, because it works a lot different than ours. So I thought that would be a pretty fun idea. But regardless, today I think I'm just going to kind of do an update on myself, everything that we've got going on, and yeah, what I've been working on. So personally, as far as D&D goes, we are in the middle of a Spelljammer campaign right now, and Spelljammer is a very different setting. So something that I have been grappling with is that Wizards of the Coast in their official book has a lot of different rules written in that never really made sense to me. So like the gravity planes, right? Okay, the way they write it makes sense, right? You have 2 different gravity planes, they merge together, and whenever, like, say you have our ship directly underneath another ship because it's space, so you can go whichever direction you want. When their gravity bubbles merge, it goes between the 2 and everybody starts falling downwards. Or likewise, if your ship is upside down, everybody falls towards the middle. I hated that rule. We are in a world of magic. We do not need to be sitting here thinking about planes of gravity while we are in the middle of D&D, because that would just be a whole discussion. It would be a lot of imagining, and if I know one thing about my players, it's that Patrick and Drew would both sit there and go, huh? How does that even work? And then I would have to try and explain it and make them visualize it, and it would be really difficult. So what I said is, guys, we all know what Mario Galaxy is, right? Yes, we all know. So I was like, okay, sounds good. Our rules for gravity in this work like Mario Galaxy. If you're inside works like inside. If you are outside, you can walk around things. It has its own little gravity field. So like if you're outside the ship, you can walk around the hull of it without falling off. If you are inside the ship, the stairs work like stairs. And everybody jumped right on board with that. They were like, that is perfect. This is a good ruling. Let's move on. And we did. And it worked flawlessly. I am so happy with the creative things they've come up with because of this rule, like walking around the outside of a crashed ship in order to get through a hole that was in the surface on the other one. It worked out really well. So if you're running Spelljammer or you ever intend to run Spelljammer, I highly recommend, instead of reading how gravity works in Spelljammer, just saying, hey guys, it works like Mario Galaxy, and then show them a video of Mario Galaxy and go, it's like this. And everybody will love you so much for it. You'll be lauded as the forever DM, and someone else will think about DMing one day, and then the second that the players find out they're not using the Mario Galaxy rule, they will put their head on a pike. All right. Other than that, though, I have been also keeping up on a lot of news, Critical Role news, stuff like that. I don't know if you guys saw, but recently, Critical Role has announced that Campaign 4 will be DM'd by Brennan Lee Mulligan, who is my favorite DM. I have watched hundreds of hours of Matthew Mercer DMing, and I love the dude. He is so good at it. He describes everything super well. His RP moments are legendary, but I have watched maybe 20 hours of Brennan Lee Mulligan DMing, and I wish that I had seen more, because The guy just captivates me whenever I'm watching. Like, I am just all in on his sessions. I honestly, today, now after this, I'm going to turn on some Dimension 20 just so I can watch and enjoy. So yeah, that's some big news. I'm excited to see what West Marches might look like because I might steal some ideas from it, but not exactly. And you know what? Between you guys and me, I'm gonna kind of go out with my plans for campaign stuff. Can I do that? Let's just give a little warning signal here. Spoiler warning for my players. If you're here, maybe go like 10 minutes later, because I need to spill the beans about a bunch of stuff that I've been working on. Because it has to go to someone, and my wife does not want to hear all of this. So, here we go. You've been warned. Spelljammer has been a lot of fun, right? And I have been our group's forever DM since 2018. Since then, I have done a lot. We did 6 years worth of campaigns, and then I took like a 1.5 year break as I went through and learned Mandarin Chinese at the Defense Language Institute. Ni hao. Ni howdy. And now I am fully back into the world of DMing, and I have been loving it. I'm telling you, I have been ecstatic to play D&D every week, which I'm glad, because before it was just kind of a routine I was in. I wasn't like burnt out, but I was enjoying D&D, but it was a routine, and now it feels brand new again because of the break that I was on, and I'm just enjoying it so much. So I've been writing a lot, and because of that, I was planning on Spelljammer being maybe like 10 to 20 sessions. It's probably going to be closer to that 20 mark because we're running up on Arc 1 now, probably like Session 8, Arc 1 of the little campaign will end, and then we'll go into Arc 2. Now, Arc 1, the players are in space. They have gone into Doom space, and if you know anything about Forgotten Realms, you know that like Spelljammer, all of that stuff, they all take place in like these little pocket universes separated by the Astral Sea. And I just wasn't a fan of the way that was set up. I understand it. I've even used it a little bit with the Astral Sea stuff. But I really liked the idea that there was a whole bigger plot with the gods, and then Sigil, the dudes in Planescape, the location in Planescape. I came up with some lore for them that I made up, where Mordenkainen, who is Drew's character's father, also just a very powerful wizard in D&D lore, he made a deal long ago with this council in Sigil. And they all agreed that, you know what, Forgotten Realms, you guys, high fantasy stuff, you have too much going on. Your gods are way too much, and your adventurers are coming out here into different universes all the time, just causing shenanigans. You're too chaotic. We are going to seal you away in a pocket dimension. And Mordenkainen agreed to it because if not, like a war would have started on Toril. And so they did so. And that pocket dimension, I have decided, is Doom Space, which is an area where the outside sphere that protects this area of wild space is shattered, and in the center is a black hole. And so in that black hole is Toril and the Forgotten Realms. And then Drew's character from a last campaign is trying to get Toril unsealed from this pocket dimension along with the party that we currently have. So I've been enjoying this a lot, and I've come up with a few more ideas that I'm going to be using from here on out. Now, here's one of them, and that's that next up, the group is going to actually unseal Toril. It's going to be awesome. They're going to fight the big bads, cast the big spell, which, okay, I got a side tangent here. I decided that, along with Drew, that his character is using an asteroid belt around Doomspace's black hole as a giant spell circle. He has been carving sigils on these asteroids all the way around the asteroid belt, and is going to be using it as a giant spell circle to cast a huge spell to bring Toril back. I mean, if that's not legendary, I don't know what is. That's beyond the point. Let's keep going. After that, after they unseal it, they're all going to be ejected from Doomspace as Doomspace is replaced with Realm Space, right? My cat's running around with a little bell. I hope you can hear it. Is going to be replaced with Realm Space as Toril re-enters the wild space, you know, the universe where everything else takes place. So when Realm Space comes back, the characters are going to be ejected, and they're going to be ejected to Sigil. And when they get there, I don't know if you know the way that the Planescape setting works, you actually have a couple different characters you're running through Planescape, and when they like die and or like things happen, they get replaced with different levels of characters depending on what's going on. Well, I'm going to take that idea. I'm going to have them make characters of the exact same level, either the exact same level or just like slightly high. Actually, no, I might do different levels. And during like when we go into the sessions and we go into different things, they're going to roll to figure out which of their characters they are. And I don't mean they're switching characters completely. It's going to be their same character, like personality-wise and stuff, but their magic, their spells and stuff. So say if you're currently an Eldritch Knight, you might become a Blade Singer for the remainder of the session or something like that. Anyways, it's an idea that I'm tampering with right now. I got to figure out exactly how it works, but they're going to be like basically wild magicking around to give themselves like different replacement effects and stuff. And I'm really into the idea because at a lot of tables this probably wouldn't work, right? You don't want to take away your player agency. But I've known these guys for 8 years, and I know they trust me, and that whenever we go into this, they'll just be dealing with this really weird stuff for, 5 sessions, and then it'll be gone. Like, they're not going to be dealing with it forever. And it's going to be really cool. Like, okay, now my cleric powers have turned into warlock powers. Freaking wild. I don't know why. Hopefully we can get this fixed. And yeah, so I am looking forward to running more Spelljammer. I so wish it was like when we were in college where we could play multiple times a week, because right now it is like I am itching to get to the weekend just to go into the next D&D session. And it's been a long time since I've had that feeling. So I'm really looking forward to going into the next session this weekend. And that's about all I've got to say on my current campaign. Now, I do have one more thing I want to talk about, and this is kind of an ad for my YouTube channel, but I've been working really hard on, I would like to make more D&D advice content on my own, because let's be honest, it's been really hard for me to get enough guests on the show to have a podcast with more than just me. That's not, a controversial statement, because this is the 3rd or 4th episode since the re-release where I've had to do it by myself. And that's not bad. I understand everybody's busy, and I really wanted to start making this kind of like content again. And don't worry, when Drew gets back, he's been doing nothing but shooting me ideas. I promise he's going to be on the show more often. But of course we had to wait for his microphone, which is the same microphone as mine, so that's going to be sick. But outside of that, going into my channel, it's the DM Seth on YouTube, youtube.com/@thedmseth. And I've been making some pretty fun stuff. I made a video about Wildermyth and how it is a very close indie game, that gives you kind of that same feel as D&D, where it's procedurally generated, so it's like someone's DMing for you and improving, and it tells really fun stories and plays kind of like D&D. So there was that, and then I've been making a lot of just fun little videos, but I also, a bunch of fun little videos, shorts every single day go out that are more or less just little tidbits of D&D advice. I'm really learning how the algorithm works with that too, because apparently 1 to 2 minute long shorts is way too long for YouTube. It needs to be like less than 20 seconds for it to get pushed anywhere, which I get it because attention spans and stuff. I'm just the kind of person that like when I watch YouTube, I'm like, okay, well, this hour-long video I'm kind of interested in, seems nice, click, and then I watch the whole thing. Like I'm not the kind of person that stops a video in between. I also watch most of my stuff at like 1.5 to 2 times speed. So maybe this is just a me thing that I should be worried about, or maybe not. I don't know. Anyways, I digress. And I have a project coming out that I've been working on that I actually think is kind of fun. And since this podcast is the original content creation machine for me, I'll go ahead and spill it here, what I'm working on. But I'm running a D&D session in like the next week or so. It'll probably be done by the time this episode comes out anyways. But I'm running a D&D session for a group that is going to be complete strangers. I went on a Reddit LFG, and we're going to sit down and play D&D where I have nothing planned. Like, they're going to be level 3, so I know that. So I have my general idea in my head of, okay, goblins, kobolds, whatever. But I have nothing planned, and I'm not going to plan anything, because I think this is going to be a test of my improv skills on how well I can sit down and run a session without thinking of anything beforehand. Now, granted, you can't stop your thoughts from wandering. When you know you have a session come up, you're going to be thinking. So I'll have a general idea of what's going on, but no notes other than their character names, and then no maps other than like some very generic looking, like, here is a trail map, here is a building map. And then I'm just going to go into my stuff and throw it on the board and see what sticks, see what happens. So yeah, I don't really know what's going to happen with that, but I'm hoping to I'm going to hire an editor to make that video for me after I record it all, because I may have some editing skill, but I don't have that kind of editing skill. I'm not nearly as good at editing as someone who is a little more professional with it. Though I think my thumbnails are pretty good. I did have someone make some really nice little, like, oh my god, my cat just knocked something off of the sink. I had someone make some super nice animated like expression sheets for me, so that way I could use those for my thumbnails, and I'm very happy with them. So I've been using them for all the thumbnails, and I really like them. So yeah, anyways, this doesn't need to be a full-on ad for my channel, but if you do enjoy listening to me talk, if you're here every week, if you're in the Patreon, and also I have been releasing some of those videos for free just to see how they do by just throwing them on the Patreon as well, and usually it's a few days beforehand. It's not part of the subscription or anything. I just kind of wanted to, test the waters by throwing the videos out there for free at first. But yeah, if you do listen to this a lot and you like me and you like seeing what I'm up to, just go over there and subscribe. Check it out. I have a couple other videos coming out, some that are similar to like hey, I found some Reddit stuff and I'm going to talk about it. Like I have one coming out today where this dude was a really toxic DM, so I reacted to it and then threw it out on the channel. It looked, and I really like the thumbnail for that one too. I put like a gloomy forest in the back with like this DM is toxic on the screen, and then one of the expression sheet expressions. Yeah. Anyways, I've been working really hard on this stuff and I'm pretty proud of it. So hopefully I can get it to where it is sustainable, because right now, given all of my life circumstances, if you are part of the Patreon, you know the life circumstances from all the post shows, which I will be recording a post show after this as well. You know that right now I don't have a lot going on, so I have been making just a lot of stuff. Yeah. Well, this has been a lot of fun. I'm sorry for another short episode. As soon as Drew's back, I promise we are going to have 20, 30, I was saying 20 to, I was going to say 20 to 30 minutes. No, they're going to be like an hour to 2 hour long podcast coming out with me and Drew. So don't you worry about that. It's going to be awesome. I'm very excited. I know last week you guys had the Chase episode come out, talking to him about his experiences DMing for the first time. And yeah, I hope you really enjoyed that. Chase was an awesome guest. Actually, Chase is a shy person, and I'm just so happy with how much over the past, years, he has been able to come out of that shell that I know he was in a little bit during college, because he's such a good speaker now. I hope you guys were able to hear that in the episode. He's a very good speaker, and he was very entertaining too. I listened to the episodes back and I was like, dang, this guy's doing great. Anyways, so good pats on the back for Chase. So yeah, good 20-minute episode here. Again, sorry that it's so short and then it's just me talking and rambling for a little bit, but there will be more to come. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. Remember to like, subscribe, go check out the Patreon. And with that, I guess I'll just have the DM Seth take us out. Yo guys, what's up? It's the DM Seth. It's your boy here on YouTube. We're gonna get out of here today, but thank you so much for listening. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and click that notification bell. Thank you.